Oh, hello there. So today I wanted to review for you guys the Dose of Colors Desi and Katy collection. This is round 2 of their collaboration with Dose of Colors. So I'm going to try on the eyeshadow palette, the new highlighter, because they came out with 2. One was a re-release of a product that they had already released, I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna try the new highlighter, and then I'm going to do like a try on of all of the lipsticks, just so that you guys can kind of see them, at least on my skin tone. But I had a bunch of other products. I was just away for a little bit, so I got some new products in the mail while I was gone, so I just kind of wanted to try out some other things that I got that I thought looked interesting. So yeah, let's jump into it. So the first thing that I got in the mail, this made me laugh so much. It's the Madonna skincare line. So Madonna came out with a skincare line. It's called MDNA Skin. The packaging is really kind of like cool and unique. It looks like a little potato chip, very nice. So this is the finishing cream, it's called. Basically the steps for this were to apply the finishing cream, use this very questionable looking object to roll it in, and then a mist. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna apply the little cream. I kind of wore not a very good shirt to do this whole neck situation, but I'm gonna rub some on. I don't know how much I should be rubbing in, considering I'm gonna use that little thing. This is a very thick cream. It smells very lightly of oranges. It feels nice. This is priced at $250, which is crazy. Oh, that actually feels pretty fucking nice. I hate to admit it. Now I'm gonna roll this shit on. It's supposed to be good for like contouring your face. This is weird. This is very like hard. Like it almost sounds like ceramic. It kind of feels like, I wish it was like a little bit gushier on my face, but it's nice and cold. It kind of like pulls my eye into the whole mix of things. I don't know if you can see that. It's like, just kind of pulls my eye in there, which I don't know that that's something that I need. I wonder if this is gonna make my nose nice and skinny. Very nice. Oh, and then my neck. It kind of captures the skin of my neck in a way that I'm not accustomed to. The ergonomics of this kind of contracts directly around my windpipe. This thing, I feel like, is just solely placebo effect. Like, I don't know that I would actually, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna have to try it for the next 3 years, and I'll get back to you, Madonna. And then this is the Rose Mist, which this is $100, and like, I just can't, it didn't come with any kind of ingredient list or any kind of packaging that said what is included in here, but I just feel like it's probably glycerin, water, and rose, so $100 seems a little exorbitant, but whatever. I'm just gonna spritz that on my face. What a weird world we live in. I wonder if I should roll that mist in. Anyways, that was goofy as shit. I just wanted to put it on camera because it made me lol when I saw it. Okay, for my foundation, I got this in the mail. This is called the By Terry Nude Expert Duo Stick. I don't know if you'll be able to kind of see, but there's half of it that is like a highlight shimmer kind of thing, and then half of it is a foundation. So you're sort of just supposed to like apply it all over, I'm assuming, and then blend it all together, and I'm hoping that it'll give me a nice kind of glowy effect. I'm not sure if this color is gonna match me the best. I'm hoping so. It was the closest out of the shades they had sent me. They had sent me like 3 shades. So I'm just gonna apply this right to the face. Ooh, it's very scented. It smells like grandma's. Not in a like pleasant, like I feel like I'm home for the holidays kind of scent, but just like actually grandma's. Ooh, I do not like that. I don't like that smell. And I'm just going to kind of buff that into my skin. Oh God, that scent is very strong. I really hope that it doesn't like linger. I feel like that coverage is actually quite sheer when applied with a brush. So if you want lighter coverage, you can definitely apply right to the face and then blend it out with a brush, and that gave a really nice sheer finish. And then if you want a little bit more coverage, you can just stipple it on with your beauty blender. For my concealer, I also received this new guy in the mail. This is from Elsie Cosmetics. It is called the Complete Ready Silky Concealer, maybe medium tan. Ooh, I like this little applicator. It's like a very nice, like, kind of metal looking applicator. I'm just gonna apply this directly from the thing. Ooh, ooh. I really like that little applicator. I feel like it'll get really messy, but like it feels really nice and like cold on my eyes. And then I'm just going to take my little brush and blend over top of that. Oh, that looks nice. That's a really Wow, nice. This concealer has quite a limited shade range. I think there was 7 shades total. Elsie is quite a small brand, so I'm not necessarily surprised by that. But just something to keep in mind if you were looking to pick this guy up. I'm gonna give you guys a little close up so you can check out that concealer and foundation really nice and close on my skin. So here we are. You guys can kind of see the texture of everything. I love the glow of that foundation. Like, I think it is a really, really beautiful, stunning glow. But I do feel like I'm just kind of already starting to notice. I mean, I applied this like not even 5 minutes ago. But I feel like I'm starting to notice that it's kind of settling into my pores just a touch, and I don't really have like a huge pore issue. That's not necessarily what I would consider like one of my skin issues. Because my skin is so dry, I have quite small, tight pores, so I don't often feel like foundation settles there. But just taking a really close-up look, I feel like it's sort of catching on my peach fuzz and just sort of like settling at those pores. But I'm gonna keep kind of wearing it, and then we'll see by the end of this video how it's looking. And here's a close-up of my neck. Is that a 14-year-old's neck? No, it's mine. Thank you, Madonna. Okay, so today we are going to be using the new Dose of Katy. Fuck! I keep calling it Dose of Katy. Anyways, we're gonna be using this Dose of Colors Desi and Katy collab palette. This is what it looks like. So we have lots of neutrals and then a few little pops of color. I'm gonna start by taking that shade right there, right all over my crease. That is called Necessary. So I'm just grabbing that on my Smith 232 brush, and I'm going to bring that into my crease and down towards the outer corner of my lid. I feel like that is actually the perfect transition color, at least on my skin tone. It's like not super, super warm, but it's not really cool either. It's kind of just like perfectly neutral, and it's lovely. Loving it. I had a really hard time with the first Dose of Colors and Katy and Desi collab. I'm gonna pick up this color right here. It's called Churro, and I'm just grabbing that on a little Hakuhodo B142 brush. And same thing, I'm basically gonna be bringing it into the exact same kind of placement, just a little bit lower, and then we're gonna be blending that all together to create a nice gradient. Yeah, I had kind of a hard time with the first Dose of Colors collab with Desi and Katy. I didn't end up doing a review on it at the time because I received it like almost 2 months after it launched. Like, I don't even know that they still had the collab available by the time I received it in the mail. So I never ended up doing a review on it, but when I tried that palette out, the shadows made my eyes like burn. Like, not even like, oh, that's a little bit of a tingle. It was like I had to like remove them kind of thing. Didn't really have a very good reaction with that formula. And then when I tried the Dose of Colors and I Love Sarai collab, I had no problem. Like, I didn't have any kind of reaction to the shadows or anything like that. So I am hoping that this formula is a lot more like the I Love Sarai collab rather than their first collection. So I've been playing around just kind of swatching this palette and stuff like that, and the thing that I noticed was that a lot of the shimmers blend together really beautifully, and I'll show you what I mean by that at the end of this video, like when I'm doing like my full review of everything, but I wanted to do it on my eyes so that you guys can see. So I'm going to take this color first. This is called A Moment. This shade has been getting a ton of attention, and it's been the shade that I feel like people have been using the most on reviews of it, but I wanted to show you kind of like another way to use it. So I'm going to pick that up first on my brush. I just wanted to see how this applied dry, and then we will try it wet if we need to, and then I'm going to go and add more of that color with my fingers. I'm gonna take this color, this is called Try Me, and I'm going to take that on the same finger that I used to apply my blue. I'm gonna pick that up, and I'm going to blend over top with my finger to create a new color. And then I'll show you guys what that looks like on my hand, just so you guys can actually see the complete difference. This is A Moment by itself. This is Try Me. Yeah. This is Try Me by itself, and then those are the two colors mixed. So it's kind of nice because the formula blends together really, really beautifully, so you can actually create kind of like a secondary look to what we had initially. So moving right along, I have my two colors kind of mixed there on the lid, and I'm just going to take my brush and sort of blend over top of the edges where I couldn't really get into close with my fingers. Then I'm gonna take this shade here. That color is called Girl Bye. And I'm gonna take that on my little Hakuhodo J146 brush. And I'm going to bring that right into my crease right above our little purple shade that we created. And then I can just kind of take that first color that we used and buff over everything just to blend it out really nicely. They also look different depending which shade you put under which. So this shade is with the blue color underneath and the red one over top, and this shade is with the red color underneath and the blue one over top. So you can kind of play around with it however you want to keep adding nuance to your looks. And then I think I'm gonna grab a little bit of that color, Just a Kiss. It's that kind of like shimmery champagne color. And I'm going to pick that color up and I'm just going to pat it down the center of my lid. I don't know how you guys are gonna feel about this look, but I think it's kind of nice. And I'm actually gonna take my makeup wipe and just remove that fallout because I tried to wipe it away and it just started like blending into my foundation. And then I'm just going to take that first color that we used and bring it underneath my lower lash line just to kind of start smoking this out. Then I'm gonna take my NARS pencil in Cassis. I used this in my last tutorial, I think. And I'm gonna put that on my lower lash line. This is actually a lip liner, so use at your own risk. See, I'm allergic. So I'm just taking that all the way across my lower lash line. I just wanted to see how these colors look over top of a pencil as well. And I'm gonna take that color Just a Moment. Or wait, Just a Moment or A Moment? I think it's called A Moment. And I'm going to put it on my lower lash line over top of that color. So far so good in terms of this formula. I'm not kind of having any sort of like weird reaction to it like I did with the first palette. Same thing, I'm gonna take that red shade and put it over top. And just kind of blend those two colors together. And then I'm gonna take that color Just a Kiss and I'm going to put it on my inner corner. I'm gonna pop on some lashes and I'm gonna finish my other eye and then we can do the rest of the face. Okie dokie. So these are our completed eyes. I feel pretty happy with this look. I feel like it's nice and smoky. I'm going to be trying out the new highlighter. I already put some bronzer down. This is called Chasing the Sun. It looks like it's going to be very deep on this Nordic skin. I wanted to try applying this with a damp beauty blender. A bunch of you had told me to do this. With, I can't remember which highlighter I was using. I was using some powder highlighter and you guys were like, try with damp beauty blender. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna mist my beauty blender with the MDNA Rose Mist. It was $40. And I'm just gonna like rub it on to my beauty blender. I do feel like applying it damp helps marginally with the texture. I'm not a huge fan of powder highlights if you're new here. It's kind of my thing. I way prefer like a cream or liquid highlight just because I feel like powder highlights always look really, really textured on my skin. I have particularly dry skin. So I feel like the damp beauty blender helps a little bit with the texture, but it kind of makes it almost so that I feel like I have a harder time buffing out where I put it down. Like I feel like because as soon as you wet a product, it becomes more intense. So it's one thing to wet, you know, an eyeshadow where it's super small and you're working on a really tiny area and you can sort of like, you know, blend away any like hard edges. Whereas on my face, that's quite a large area to have a hard edge that I'm having a harder time blending away. I definitely do feel like that color is not the most flattering on my skin. It's definitely not as dark as it appears to be in the pan. The pan is really deceiving. Like this looks like deeper than my skin tone, but it does have like a really, really nice golden finish to it. I think this is gonna be absolutely beautiful on those of you that have kind of like more like tan to deeper skin tones. Like this is gonna be so, so beautiful. I don't think I would recommend this as quickly to those of you that are a little bit more fair. It is a little bit deeper. I can definitely get away with wearing it, but it's quite yellow toned and I feel like it's not as flattering on my skin as, you know, more of a kind of like lighter champagne color would be. Okay, so for the lips, I just wanted to quickly try on all the different shades so you guys could see them on my skin and how they look. So the first thing we have is the lip gloss, which is called The Most. This was released alongside Over the Top gloss, which was from their first launch. I'll put on Over the Top so you guys can see it. It's just like a clear gloss with a gold glitter in it. I wasn't a huge fan of this gloss when I got it the first time, just because I felt like the glitter in it feels gritty, at least to me. So this shade is called The Most. It is also kind of clear and it has like iridescent glitter in it. So it appears a little more pink on the lips. I don't know if you guys can see. Same thing with this one. This texture is a little bit thick and gritty as well, so I can't see myself reaching for this gloss. Then for lipsticks, we have Hey Girl and Aftermath. So this is Hey Girl. This one looks super peachy on me. I think I had the same thing with the first collab too. I think that Desi and Katy have like very olive skin tone in comparison to me. So a lot of their shades look like really quite different on me than they do on them. This looks really nude on them, I feel like, but on me I feel like it looks very peachy. But that is Hey Girl. Okay, and then this is Aftermath. Like Eminem. So that is Aftermath. That is such a nice like fall color. I really, really, really like that shade. It's very like pumpkin spice looking. Okay, and then for liquid lipsticks, we have My Main and a Mauve Story. Mauve, whatever you feel in your heart. So this is My Main. Again, this one's a little more peachy than I would typically wear, but I think it's gonna be a really pretty nude on those of you with olive skin tones. And last but not least, a Mauve Story. This my shit. I definitely do think on my skin tone, something with a little more pink works quite a bit better. That is definitely my favorite lip out of the entire collection. Yes, I planned it this way so I could wear it for the rest of the video. Okay, so let's go over everything we used today. Madonna, I don't know, babe. I'm gonna have to keep using your stuff. Maybe it'll work out for me, we'll see. The one thing I will say is that I feel like it's very popular for celebrities to come out with makeup lines these days. One thing that kind of irks me about it is that when I see the makeup and I see the pricing, I'm like, you wouldn't wear this shit. And I recognize obviously the business tactic of getting more sales by having more reasonably priced products, but I do just feel like that's a kudos to Madonna, because I fucking know Madonna is not going to no drugstore for her skincare. So releasing a $250 moisturizer, a $100 rose water mist, and then this explicit looking apparatus, it just seems a little more on brand for Madonna, so I can applaud that. I'm gonna keep trying her stuff out just for shits, so if you guys want updates on it, definitely let me know and I can update you in a future video. Then we had the By Terry foundation. I feel actually like I liked it. I was a little bit worried at first because I felt like it started settling into some pores like I had mentioned, but it really didn't do anything beyond that. I've been wearing it for, probably been filming for about an hour and a half, and usually after about like 30 minutes, I feel like my foundation really settles into my skin, and that's how it's gonna end up looking. It's not my favorite foundation I've ever tried by any means, but I do really like the glow that it gave. I didn't feel like I would even need to necessarily apply a highlighter after. Some foundations I feel like make me look quite flat once I put them on, to the point where I'm like, okay, I definitely need like some kind of like light brought back in by, you know, a highlighter. Feel like it's something that I would end up using on days where I don't want to wear a ton of makeup, by using it with the brush rather than my beauty blender, so it's nice and sheer. Then we had the concealer from LC Cosmetics. I actually really, really liked this concealer. First of all, I really, really loved the tip of this concealer. I felt like it was really like super luxurious feeling. It was nice and cool on my under eyes, and it just felt kind of nice. I do wish that the rest of the packaging kind of reflected that, because it seems like the rest of the packaging feels kind of like cheap to me, whereas that applicator tip just felt so much more kind of like luxe. Even if the cap had been black instead of this clear plastic, I feel like that would have looked a little bit more kind of like upscale, but packaging aside, I really, really liked that formula. I felt like it applied with kind of like a medium to buildable full coverage. It definitely wasn't super sheer. It definitely wasn't like really, really full coverage to the point where it looked odd with my foundation. Then we had the Dose of Colors Desi and Katy collab round 2, the Friendcation palette. The matte shades were beautiful. They blended really, really nicely. They built up really well on the eye. I had no issues with them whatsoever in terms of like patchiness or anything like that. And they applied pretty true to pan color. I didn't feel like anything was kind of like oxidizing to be darker or any weird color. I didn't feel like it was a lot darker than I expected or a lot lighter than I expected. It just kind of applied exactly like I would expect it to. But I do really love the metallic colors because they blend together so well, like I showed you guys on the lid. And I wanted to show you guys some more kind of combinations that you can do with this palette. So this is a Moment by itself. This is a Moment with Try Me over top. This is Try Me by itself. Try Me with Just a Kiss over top. Just a Kiss by itself. Dirty Money with Just a Kiss over top. and then Dirty Money just by itself. So those are just a few kind of color combinations that you can do by mixing those metallics. Overall, I have to say that this is actually probably one of my favorite influencer collabs I've ever used. I feel like it's just a very versatile palette, being that you can kind of mix those metallics together really nicely and they blend together so well. And the thing that's nice about the pops of colors that they chose is that they're a little bit more unique. We have this nice kind of like bluey tone up here that has like that kind of purple shift to it that's really beautiful. Dirty Money, which is kind of an olivey gold color. Then we have this black color down here, which has like a sparkle kind of like silver to it, which is nice. It's a little bit more wearable than just like a matte black. The nice kind of like rusty rose gold color they have over here, and then that Just a Kiss color, which is more of a topper. The pops of color are quite a bit different from what's on the market currently, but they're really, really easily used and implemented into looks with those nice matte neutrals. Then we have the Chasing the Sun highlight. As I said before, this is a little bit deeper and kind of more golden tone than I prefer on my skin tone. So those that are my skin tone and a little bit lighter probably won't find this as flattering, but those that are basically any shade deeper than me will probably really, really like this shade a lot. Formula-wise, I don't feel like there's anything out of the ordinary happening with it. It doesn't look particularly textured or cakey. It doesn't look like it like sits on top of the skin or anything weird like that. It goes on pretty nicely. Then when it comes to the lip glosses, these both weren't my favorite just due to the formula. I'm not a huge fan of really thick glosses that are really sticky, and I did feel like they were a little bit gritty, so personally I wouldn't recommend picking up either of those, and I didn't feel like the color of either was unique enough to justify the downfalls in the formula. Out of the two lipsticks, I preferred Aftermath the most. That was that kind of like pumpkin-y shade. Then we had our liquid lipsticks in My Main and a Mauve Story. I prefer a Mauve Story on my skin in particular, but I don't feel like any of the lip products that were released are particularly unique. I don't feel like they're anything that you couldn't find elsewhere or that you might not already have in your collection. That said, if you don't have a shade similar to any of these, I don't think you'll be disappointed by the lipstick formula or the liquid lipstick formula. All right, you guys, that is everything for me today. Let me know if you're gonna pick up anything from this collection, what you're gonna grab, what you're looking forward to. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and chatting. Let me know what you'd like to see next in the comments below and I'll get back to you. All right, guys, see you next time. Peace out.